Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nubraids, and in today's video we are going to be building the Mad Hatter. He's the most recent fusion. Hopefully you guys all got him. The fusion is obviously over now, can't get him anymore unless you're lucky enough to pull him. I think he's a fantastic champion. We're going to build him up, talk about his masteries, relics, skills, blessings, everything here in today's video. This will be going up alongside an article, Mad Hatter guide that I've written for hellhades.com, so you can come and check it out, where talk about his skills, how it works, best areas for him, and then this sort of the key stuff that we're going through in this video, which is best blessing, gear sets, best stats, etc. So let's dive in, shall we? Mine is not fully leveled up, but that's okay. Where is he gone? Mr. Mad. There we go. I'm grinding up his masteries. I've got half of them done already. Grinding them up in the Minotaur, which is how I'm going to try getting him up to level 60, just grinding that stuff out. So I did put some gear on him, which is maybe a mistake, but hey, that's life. So we are going to use the Hell Hades optimizer to build him. If I move me over here, there's a little tick mark you can put in it that will put them to max level, which is really handy. And that works if he's like, if he's whatever, level 1, 5-star, you click that box right here, champion to max level, it'll put him to level 60, 6-star. So he'll be done, which means you don't need to be thinking about, oh, wait, what base stats does he have, etc., etc. That's kind of important. All right, we'll go into optimize. I think we will go for probably survival mode. It's going to give him effective HP score. It'll be balanced between HP and defense. That should be fine, seeing as we're going to be running him mostly in Hydra. That's what I'm building him for. You could do balance mode and set a stat priority. Maybe we'll go with that just so it's a bit more general. We'll let him use equipped artifacts. You can also set up the masteries yourself manually. I think we've got everything we need here. Nothing that's going to affect our stats. That's fine. And we'll come over. In fact, let me talk about his masteries first, maybe before we do this. For his masteries, this is what I've got going so far. And if I was to jump over to a mastery calculator, I don't know why this one is so, like, squat. It's very squat. But I think this is the key of what you're going to do. Like, I think getting him War Master makes sense. It's going to give you a bit of extra damage in Hydra, so why not? So we're pretty much just kind of coming down the whole left-hand side of the offense tree. You can see that's what I'm doing here. We're just going to grab Methodical, which isn't really useful. War Master is going to give a big chunk of extra damage, and that will duplicate itself through Hex as well, so it's actually quite worthwhile. Then I think we're going to come down the right-hand side of this tree, or at least grab this bit, the accuracy stuff. I am going to grab him Arcane Celerity. He's doing lots and lots of debuffs. Obviously enough, if you are running him in like a strictly speed-tuned composition, you cannot take Arcane Celerity. And I guess you can't take Cycle of Magic either, because that could throw your speed tune out. It's unlikely you're going to run him in a speed tune, but you might, specifically because he does have a buff extension. So you might want it to be, in a very fixed speed tune with buff extension for Demon Lord, but you're probably more likely to use him in Hydra where speed tune's not a thing. So yeah, I'm going to grab Arcane Celerity, going to grab Cycle of Magic, Master Hexer, definitely, to extend his debuffs. And then it's a bit of a question. So this is what I also have set up over here. You can go for Sniper. That's a good choice. If he's not fully booked, that's great. And also, if you're going for Brimstone, I think it does up your chance to place Brimstone. I think. I do think Spirit Haste then is good as well. The other options are Lasting Gifts, but he doesn't have any buffs, or Kill Streak, but he doesn't really kill anyone, so I'm going to give him Spirit Haste myself. And this is going to be what his masteries are going to look like for me. He could be okay in the defense tree as well if you don't need the accuracy. But I think, getting the turn meter and the extra cooldown is going to be pretty good. All right, so that's what we're doing in terms of our gear. So now we know that we're back to our gear, and we don't really care about this too much. For speed, for me, I'm going to set him on like 300 speed and like 400 accuracy. Now, you could obviously redo this, or if you're getting his 5-star soul, you could drop his accuracy requirement a bit to make up for it. And yeah, that's probably set speed number 1. Maybe a number 3 priority and accuracy. You can sort of mess with these as you will. Maybe I'll just leave none over here. We'll see what it comes up with, actually. Yeah, let's see what it comes up with, because I've got some specific sets. I think the best set combination you can get, because his skills are so ridiculously good, this is a 3-turn cooldown when booked with this huge ally attack. I want him to be casting these skills as much as possible. I'm going to go for 4-piece Merciless, which is when he does damage, which is going to happen when he does his A2 or A1, but not his A3. 4-piece Merciless is nice. We're going to do that with accessories. Or you can also do, and I think it's probably better, 4-piece Reflex is what I'm going to be aiming for, which is the 40% chance to reduce his skill cooldown. That just procs at the start of his turn, so that can work even on turns he's going to do his A3. Impulse is very good as well, which is 12% speed, 12% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown. It's really good, though you probably don't have much impulse. Yeah, if you don't have that stuff, then anything like, pinpoint, feral, perception, speed, whatever, anything that's going to give him speed and accuracy is good as well. I do think an interesting build could be 9-piece feral, but that's obviously I'm blocking it. That's obviously very difficult to do. He does put out 2 debuffs, 3 if you've got Brimstone, which will give you 5% more damage. Yeah, that's sort of where he's at. So let's go over. I am going to force him. Gonna say reflex. So let's stick it in. We want reflex. Great. And we want what's it I want? Merciless as well. 4 pieces. All right. And yeah, you could do some more extensive stuff if you want, like put in glyphs and specify the slots. We're not too worried about that. We're just gonna do just a basic job of it. We're gonna click play. It's not worked. It could be a bug with my optimizer. Let me check out. No matching artifact. Possibly, you know what? Actually, possibly I have set the requirements too high. Hang on. Let me double check this. So, if I come over, what is my area bonuses for Hydra? I have 48. Okay, so I can actually drop his requirements a good bit. Let's actually drop this to, let's say 350. In fact, we go even lower. Let's say 340 accuracy. And let's say 280 speed. Let's lower it. We are giving him quite an intensive build, so we'll see if this is going to work. There we go. It did work, and we were able to find an answer. It looks like speed is the problem, actually. Yeah, speed with Merciless is the problem for me. We are stealing off Rector Drath, which is a bit unfortunate. Let's see if we can maybe avoid that. Ooh, we actually do need to grab an accuracy banner to make this happen. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if we lock Rector Drath, clear it out, start again. Can we do it? We're going quite intensive. Ooh, we've gone quite intensive in terms of stats. All right. Well, in that case, we'll let him. Let's see. If we let him steal from anybody, what's he gonna do with this? Oh, he's gonna go a lot better. If we steal off, we'd have to steal off Geomancer, Podra, quite a few people. I probably don't want to steal off of. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's unlock Rector Drath. And let's steal gear off of her. She's fine. She's easy enough to build. We'll go back to Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter. Okay, optimize. Don't steal off of anybody. Just go. So yeah, I definitely shouldn't have put the accessories on. He's not using it. Let's just see 282. He's going to have absolutely tons of accuracy. Let's see if we can drop that even more. Let's say 320. Let's make it not a priority. Just make speed a priority. Let's see if it will go better. You can customize this as you wish. 386. Sorry, 286 speed. This is a lot more health right there, which is probably better. Okay. This looks pretty decent to me. It's literally stealing poor Rector Drath is having everything stolen. I love that. That's very funny. This comes out pretty well. Accuracy is, again, close enough, considering he's going to get a blessing and whatnot. And yeah, so I'm thinking, for me, I'm looking around 286 speed. He's very important. He needs to be faster than your damage dealer to get weakened out first. For accuracy, he needs enough for wherever you're going to use him. I need enough for Nightmare, Hydra. If you're using him in like Ultra Nightmare, Chimera, or whatever, it's going to need to be more. This, to me, looks quite... So we can come to our roster screen. Go Mr. Mad Hatter. I'm going to save it just as a preset because I don't want to gear him up. We can click Equip in-game, and then we come over, and there we go. The preset is set up. Looks pretty good. I'm going to save as a champion preset, and then I'll re-gear Rector Drath after we've broken her. Poor Rector Drath. Oh, man. C'est la vie, but I think it's worth it. So there we go. It's done. Like I said, I'm not putting gear on him right now because I am going to grind up his stuff in Minotaur, and it's not actually going to make it faster. It'll just slow us down because we're clearing it very quickly. Right. For a soft touch on relics, I'm giving him the Journal of Necrotis, which is a very accessible one. But yeah, more HP. Great. Bit more defense when we get there. Great. Heals and turn meter effects. Boosted by 15%. In fact, that's now 18%. I think that's perfect. And I've given him, he's getting more turn meter. Again, that's perfect. He is doing turn meter boosting on his A3. He's doing healing on his passive. It's not a huge deal, but it's nice. In terms of alternatives, I mean, there's plenty. I think he's pretty flexible. Hallowed Hilt. I don't know if this works. He can heal with an active skill. You would probably put that on someone more important anyway. All Cardiac Heart, Hallowed, they'll both be very good. I think the Journal is excellent. The Rod, not so much. The Demonic Effigy, not so much. Golden Elixir could be fine. Gilded Dragonstone, eh. Nothing here that's too good. If you were using him in Arena, these could be okay, but probably not really. You could give him the Hatter's Resolve, but I don't think it's going to do much, just some stats. And over here, again, I don't think there's anything too much. If you do need some accuracy, the Molten Deathwell is actually great. And that will work very well for wave-based content or like arena content. He'll get more turn meter when he fears people, which is actually quite good. And that happens out of his turn. That's quite nice. He doesn't do turn meter reduction. He doesn't have ally protection. He doesn't do damage. Orbital Transfixion could be okay again for arena. But yeah, and you probably run other stuff on him. I would say for me, the two would be Journal of Necrotis would be the big one. And then possibly the Molten Death Bell, depending on what you need. I've done Journal of Necrotis, which I think is... From over here, what else do we need to cover? His blessing. So when you do get a blessing, for me, I'm going to actually run... I've talked about this. I run this on very few people, but Harmonic Impulse, especially because I can get him a 5-star. This may not be important for you. If you do not have a problem with True Fear from the Hydra head in your team, you don't need this. I'm running him, though, like Mikage, Ninja, and Mad Hatter, and I think that's a really good combo. Mikage is giving us the ally attack. Mad Hatter's A1 is pretty good. Mad Hatter's A2 is going to bring in Ninja. All these ally attacks from Ninja place decreased defense, and then we've got the weaken from Mad Hatter. Ninja's A1 hits incredibly hard, synergizes very well with Mad Hatter. We can extend debuffs with Mikage, but both Mikage and Mad Hatter have this ability to reduce the duration of debuffs, which will protect us from the fear, but they themselves have to not get feared. So I am going to run Harmonic Impulse to just, again, stop the Head of Torment from breaking his skills, but you might not need that. I'd say the most general one for him will probably be Brimstone if you're running him against any bosses. So just the chance to place Brimstone, he's got tons of accuracy. He's going to help you against bosses. Another very general one, Cruelty. If you don't need Brimstone in your team, and Brimstone is not as useful in Hydra because you can't control which head it goes on to. Cruelty is very good as well. You can get up to 15% decreased defense. And it'll also help you against champions. This helps you sort of everywhere. And he is going to be doing an AoE attack, especially with a Reflex Merciless kit, very frequently. So Cruelty is a really strong option as well. I think then for Arena... I think Polymorph is pretty good. He's a high accuracy champion. He can work and go second teams very much so, pumping out, just trying to stay alive for ages, let his passive work, kind of like cutting in with this sort of stuff. He can totally work at go second. I think Polymorph could be quite annoying. And yeah, that's probably what I'd be looking for with Mad Hatter. Obviously, Intimidating Presence is fine if you need it. And... yeah, I think that's about it. But let me know if you have any other builds. I think they're sort of the core things you're doing at Mad Hatter. I'm just trying to get him good speed, good accuracy, lots of cooldown reduction. And yeah, War Master. And we're just spamming his A2 as much as possible. Priority 1 A2, priority 2 A3. Let him go to town. Let him do some work. I think he's going to be clutch basically everywhere. So yeah, there you go. That's Mad Hatter. That is how I am looking to build him. So again, these are going to be my final stats when he is level pre-blessing, mind you. Pre-bless, it actually works very well. I think pre-blessing, going to have about 80,000 HP. With the blessing, it's going to be more like 85, 86,000. Yeah, I don't know, 86, 87. The attack doesn't matter. Defense, 3,000. 3,000 to be about 3,700 or 800 with the blessing. 286 speed if we got him to 6-star, which I'm not going to prioritize. I'd much rather do more arena-focused champions or damage dealers, but he would be 300 with that. He actually is getting a good bit of crit rate. That's not by any plan. That's just happened. Not important. Crit damage also not important. Resistance not important. And accuracy 330. When he gets that 5-star blessing, he'll be 400, which would be just actually overkill, really. He's going to be nice and tanky, and yeah, that's basically it. That's how I'm building him. Right, I've got to go rebuild my poor Rector Drath, who's having all of her gear stolen. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. Again, you can find the link to the full guide in the description, and I'll see you all then. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.